and welcome to my channel. My name's Nicole if you're new here, and here on We Mama I do lots of motherhood, lifestyle, cleaning and organisational videos. So if you like that kind of content, I would love it if you could stick around and maybe consider subscribing. Today's video is going to be 5 autumn books that my kids love. A little disclaimer before we start. My 1-year-old and my 2-year-old are downstairs. They're watching TV and I have to film at some point during the day. This is the first time I've sat down to film in a very long time, and I'm just slowly hoping that they're not going to kick off because my sit down filming time is very limited these days with 2 small children. So I need to take it when I can. They're both happy downstairs, so I quickly run upstairs to film. So I'm going to try and go through these books as fast as I can, and yeah, I hope you enjoy them. I love watching these types of videos. I love watching anything to do with the seasons, like activities, books, films, just things to do with the kids for autumn. And I thought, as I've been doing a bit of a sort out with the kids' books, I thought I would share 5 of my favourite kind of autumnal books. So first up, one called Don't Wake the Bear Here. I think this is a series of books. I think, don't quote me on it, it's by Steve Smallman and Caroline Pedler, and it's all about the animals, like woodland animals, just about to have a tea party in the woods. They don't want to wake the sleeping bear, and they have a little party in the woods until all of a sudden a balloon pops and the bear wakes up. It's really simple. It's maybe not all to do with autumn, but I don't know, I feel like any kind of books to do with the forest, I always think of autumn. And you know, he is kind of hibernating, so this was a good book to explain why the bear is sleeping to my little boy, that the bears hibernate and that the animals, you know, gather food and stuff. So yeah, my little boy absolutely loves this one. He loves the thought of a tea party, teddy bear's picnic type thing, and yeah, we just discuss why the animals go to sleep. I mean, it is only the bear in this one, but you know, obviously we do ask a lot of questions and we explain a lot of things whilst reading, so yeah, I really like this one. Next up is a book called The Very Helpful Hedgehog. This book is by Rosie Wellesley, and the illustrations in this are beautiful. It just honestly makes me want to draw. I've got a feeling I've already talked about this book in a previous book video. Oops. But now that I've got it, it is a firm favourite with my little boy. He loves this one, and even though again it's not all to do with autumn, it's just got, you know, the autumn themes. It's all about a little hedgehog, lots of autumnal colours in the book, and it's all about an apple that falls from a tree. So again, that can be, you can talk about why the leaves fall and why the apples have fallen, and it's all about sharing really, because the little hedgehog shares the apple with the donkey, and they become friends. But yeah, if you can see, this is why it makes me think of it being an autumnal book. It's got all the leaves, the woodland animals. It is a really sweet little book about sharing, and yeah, as I've mentioned, the illustrations are beautiful, all the watercolours. They're really, really pretty, and yeah, my little boy loves this book. He's loved this one for a long time. Next up, we have one called The Pear Tree by Meredith Hooper and B. Wiley, or Willie. It's called The Pear Tree, and it says here an animal counting book. So again, none of these books are actually talking about autumn, but they just make me feel very autumnal. And again, some really nice pictures in here, and I feel like it goes to the tune of A Partridge in a Pear Tree. So the book kind of starts in winter, in January. And it's on the first day of January, my grandpa showed to me a pigeon in a pear tree. And then it goes through the months from February with all the different animals and things like that, all the different months. So it goes through summer, and then it gets to September. On the first day of September, my mum showed to me 9 spiders spinning. So the previous month was 8 ants darting, and that's like the kind of theme. So as you can see, it's just so pretty. I used to love books like this as a kid, where you could just, you know, you didn't know where to look on a page. And it's got all the squirrels on the floor, and then the next month becomes October, and it says, you know, it's 10 stripy wasps, and then it goes into November, and I don't know, like I said, it's not all to do with autumn, but it's just got some autumnal themes and really pretty pictures, and you can discuss, you know, what happens in autumn. This one's obviously very good for all different seasons, but it's one of the ones that Didier really likes to request. Another one here, Didier loves these type of books. These, like, I think they're like early reader books, but my little cousin donated basically all of these to Didier, and he will, I don't put them away, I'll put them out on his little bookshelf and he'll pick up what he wants to read. And this one, again, it doesn't really discuss autumn, but if you're familiar with the story, it's The Little Red Hen. This one's not actually got an author, but I know it's like a classic. And it's just basically, it runs along the lines of harvest. So this one's a little bit different, because if you're not familiar with the story, it's all about a chicken who, she has these 3 animals constantly around her, and she asks for help. So she was like, who wants to help me plant seeds, plant the grain, cut the grain, like shred the wheat and things like that. And in the end she makes bread, and none of the animals want to help her until she asks who wants to help me eat the bread. And then all the animals, of course, say, yes, I'll help you eat the bread. But none of them take part in actually making it. So that's like a little backstory if you're not familiar with the story. It's a good one to discuss with Didier, because I know that it'll come up in school. Like we do it in nursery as well, where we talk about harvest in my preschool. So he'll be going to his preschool next year. So it's just a good thing to always start early with, I guess. Just anything that they might cover in the future. Yeah, Didier really enjoys this book. He actually picks it out quite often. And we just discuss the farm, we discuss harvest and crops, things like that. So it might not be the most exciting autumnal book out there, but it is one that my little boy quite often picks up. And last but not least, I've kept my favourite for last, The Squirrels Who Squabbled by Rachel Bright and Jim Field. Now this one is quite autumnal themed, and that's why I kept it for last, because it is one of my favourite books. I will be completely honest, my little boy does tend to ask for the hedgehog one and the hen one more than he requests this one. I think it's just because it is maybe a little bit too long for him. He loves looking at the pictures, but when we read this as a bedtime story, he can start to doze off or get a bit agitated because it is a little bit long for a bedtime story maybe, for a 2-year-old. But yeah, this is such a lovely book. I am a huge fan of the illustrator Jim Field. We've got quite a few of his books. His illustrations are absolutely stunning, and of course this book is no exception. Of course, as you open up the book, you're greeted with the most beautiful illustrations and colours, and it's all about a squirrel called Cyril, and he did not gather nuts ready for hibernating, and so of course it's about to turn into winter and he hasn't got any food, and all of a sudden he sees a pine cone and he wants it. But on the other side of the forest there's another squirrel called Bruce, and he is an overthinker. He's got all the food, he just wants the one more pine cone. So the whole book is about them like squabbling over this pine cone, and it just falls through the forest and they're chasing after it. As you can see, all the beautiful colours. Again, woodland animals. Whenever I see woodland animals, it just makes me think of autumn. Like, look how beautiful the colours are, and like the illustrations. They're so pretty. And I always love a book which has like a different element to it. So even though this is really simple, like it's just turn it on its side, it just makes the book a bit more interesting. Yeah, of course they're just after their pine cone, and then in the end they just realise that how silly they are fighting, and they decide to share all the food together. So yeah, it's a good one to talk about, all the colours, why the squirrels are collecting nuts and again going into hibernation, things like that. I just think that's such a beautiful book. And the way that it's like, it rhymes, it's just a great book, that one. Clearly for me and not the kids. So guys, they are 5 autumnal books that we have been reading currently. I am definitely thinking of stocking up and doing this like a seasonal thing, just to help my 2 children understand the seasons and to talk about them, what happens in different seasons. So I definitely think I'll be doing a winter one and a spring and summer one for next year. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment. Please let me know any of your favourite autumnal books that you read to your little ones, or your favourite ones growing up. Please let me know down in the comments. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a big thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I make new videos and post them every Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!